What's up, everyone? Nova here, and happy Pride. Now, this isn't something I normally talk about on my channel, but it's Pride Month, so I figured why not. Now, most people see me as a dude. They go, oh, Nova, he this, he that. I'm non-binary, and I go by they, them pronouns. More specifically, I'm gender fluid and gender apathetic. Let's talk about what that means for me. So gender fluidity, as I understand it, is when you don't necessarily associate with a specific gender permanently. This could change over the course of a couple days, it could change over the course of a couple years. The key focus of gender fluidity is you're not locked into a specific gender. While gender apathy is you don't feel attached to gender identity. It's something that's secondary to just your own personal identity. And these are two things that I've kind of been bouncing back and forth in my head over the past few years and over the past lifetime of trying to figure myself out. And I wanted to talk about my journey through life and how I came to this discovery about myself 34 years into life. Now, being born in 91, I grew up in an era where gender identity, trans, non-binary, none of that was really talked about. It wasn't really like a discussion topic. And honestly, for a lot of main circles, even to today, it was wrong to be identifying yourself in that way, or it was done as like a joke in a movie or something. It's something that I didn't truly understand at its core until later in life as I started to explore my identity more. Now, all through my life, I didn't feel a strong attachment to being male. I didn't feel any inclination to be masculine, to be the man. None of that mattered to me, and a lot of people put a lot of emphasis and pride on that aspect of themselves, and it just never really clicked with me. I was always a more effeminate person, and at the time, I felt like I was wrong. I felt like I was different. I felt like, I was lying to people, because what I would do is I would, in online forums, in MMOs like MapleStory, FlyFF, Ion Online, all these MMOs I loved, I would always be a female character. And I would tell people that I'm a girl. Something about that dynamic it was nice. It felt good to explore something that wasn't my designated gender of male. And again, at the time, I didn't really understand what that meant for me personally. It was just kind of an exploration of, oh, this is nice. I'm being referred to in a different way. I was experiencing a different side of myself. As I got older, going into my late 20s, early 30s, it's something that I started to put some serious thought into. I was going through a pretty rough spot in my life, and I did a lot of introspective thinking about not just my gender identity, but who am I as a person? What do I want out of life? All these really heavy topics. And gender identity was at the forefront of this kind of introspective thought. So I did my research. I knew for sure that I was not cisgender. Because there were many periods of my life, during the MMO phase, during the online forum phase, where I was like, would I have been happier born a girl? And I think the answer I came to is no, I don't think I would be, but I also don't think I'd be unhappy. Because at the core of my personal gender identity, I think the conclusion I came to is I'm just me. The femininity, the masculinity, the everything in between, that's just me. I don't like tying a gender identity to that, because at the end of the day, I don't want that to be what people identify me as. I don't want that to be, I just want to be Nova. But that being said, I do enjoy exploring the different kind of feelings of expressing myself as female, expressing myself as male, as non-binary, as, androgynous. I like kind of feeling it out and just experiencing what I need to be in that moment. So while I do present myself as a masculine character in videos, this is Nova, this is the person, the character that I'm portraying from the undersea world of Mizurealist. This is my character. This character is also non-binary, but it is definitely more mask presenting. Whereas if people hang out with me in VRChat, they know I'm usually running around in female avatars. And honestly, when I'm just feeling more cozy, when I'm feeling more relaxed, it feels more me. It feels nice to just kind of be what I need to be at any given moment without feeling tied down to any specific expectation. In fact, you might have seen this in another one of my videos, but I do have a femme-presenting avatar. And this is her. This is me. This is what I would want to look like presenting as a female. This is a character that I have explored and experienced for a good portion of my life, and this is this is my femme presenting self. This is still Nova. Granted, I've given her the name Liliara or Aria, but it's still part of me, you know. I like being cute. I like being pretty. I like the frills. It's just nice to relax while looking like this. But all of this is part of who I am. And it's not like any of this is going to have any, you know, strong impact on my videos. For me, gender identity is not important. It's something, for me personally, you know, I don't care if you call me he, him. I don't care if you call me she, her. You know, I care more about what feels right in the moment for you while I'm presenting as what feels right for me. If someone sees me in this avatar and they call me a girl, I'm like, all right, bet, cool. That's nice. I feel cute. But if they call me, you know, a guy in a girl avatar, it's like, okay, sure, that's your perspective on that. That is my personal experience with gender identity, and I hope you've learned a little bit more about me. It's something I've been trying to figure out for a while, and it's something I'm still trying to figure out. But I know that both sides are me, and they're both things that I enjoy kind of exploring and experiencing, and I'm going to continue trying to figure out as time goes on. And just know that however you present, however you identify, that's what's most important. You are who you are, and we fucking love you for that. If you have your own stories to share in the comments that you feel comfortable sharing, feel free. I'd love to hear other people's experiences with how they discovered themselves and how they realized, you know, important factors about who they are. At the end of the day, this is a community that I want to foster and get to know the people who watch my content. I don't want this to just be, I'm a creator, you're my audience, you know, I'm a person, and this is the person that I am. All right, I'll catch you guys later. I love you guys. Be good. Take care of yourself. Goodbye.